So 10 years out, what's your feeling? You know, we've got this decade of delivery concept a lot of people are talking about. What do we do to inject a sense of energy and urgency behind this agenda at a time when headlines are not very positive? You know, we've got all kinds of issues in the political front. Many of the fundamental questions that we need to tackle as a community are facing us right here today. Forget about 10 years from now.
Sure. Well, I think you hit the nail on the head when you said urgency. So it's great to talk about a decade of action, but without action, it's not a decade of action. And I think one of the areas that we've really been focused on at Pfizer is identifying individuals who can drive great action. Now, we've seen that most recently with a teenager who drew global attention to climate change.
Sure.
We see it every day in the work that we do with these providers who are so deeply committed, and you see them. You know that sort of characteristic. They move with this sense of urgency. They see a problem, they're immediately thinking of a solution. They are relentless in their pursuit of providing health care for those patients. And so I think as we talk about multi-sector partnerships and private sector partnerships, we can't forget that individual. And we need to figure out how to empower them, to give them the strength to sort of drive that action that we're going to depend on. And I think the second thing we have to do is to really break down those barriers of what private partnership means. And you know, you still see resistance within multilateral organizations, within the private sector itself, right? As we try to understand the language that we each use to achieve the goals that we have. And I think we've got to continue to press forward and increase that dialogue and that exchange where we can learn from what's worked in the past, be honest about the challenges, but commit to that forward momentum.